Hello and welcome. My name is Sam. My pronouns are she, her, and I am the reader for Saussie Tarot. I am certified through Biddy Tarot, which is one of the largest online tarot resources, and received my certification as a tarot advisor. So I wanted to give you a brief little introduction, and then I'll go ahead and do the reading according to whichever deck you were drawn to. So I've been reading professionally for about a year and a half now. I bought my first deck back in 2015. I use a variety of different ones, and I kind of choose based on what I'm drawn to. I have a combination of both tarot and oracle decks. And I love to do a lot of readings for people who have had many readings before, as well as first timers. So if you do happen to be new and you're not really sure what to expect, hopefully these little free mini readings will give you a little touch of how I personally do my readings. And you can ask me any questions, and I'm always more than happy to answer. So really quick, a few things. I consider myself an intuitive reader. And so sometimes you might have definitions of different cards that you might read online. That's not always going to apply to an intuitive reading. A lot of times the images or the traditional meanings will help spark my intuition, and that is how I will go ahead and tell the story that the cards are showing, and however you believe, whether it's the universe, spirit, your guides, angels, however you feel personally connected to your own intuition, your own inner guidance. That is exactly what I am drawing on to give you these messages. Another thing is that I love to do empowering readings. Now, that's not to say that I don't do readings for entertainment value, as some people just want to know, what should I look out for? What's ahead for me without anything in particular? But a quick note is the more general the question, the more general the response or the answer or the guidance. The more specific we can get to what you are really wanting to know. And I will help guide you if you're having a little trouble kind of figuring out what kind of questions you want to ask. So I'll kind of, help guide you, try to get to the heart of what you're really asking so that we can get you the best guidance for you at that time. Sometimes the readings won't always make sense right away, and you might need to sit on them for a few days, maybe even a week or a month, and things will start to kind of come into your awareness. That doesn't mean that the readings are wrong, but that could be potentially your energy at the time, things that are going on, or because I believe in free will, where you have the power of choice, you may even decide that something that comes up in your reading isn't for you, and you can absolutely choose to go another direction. So these are meant to be kind of a snapshot in time. It's not meant to dictate your life or your actions. I'm not providing any professional advice regarding things like health, finances, legal advice, and mental health advice, and things of that nature. It's more like guidance to help empower you to make the decisions that you feel are right for you. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and do your reading. So this is for those of you who chose Tarot of the Divine. I love, love, love this deck. It's by Yoshi Tani, and it's inspired by deities, folklore, and fairy tales from around the world. So this deck, and I'm going to go ahead and start with the general energy of those of you who chose this deck. Keep in mind this is a general reading, as there may be many different people that are watching these. So we got the Three of Wands in the reverse. This is what it looks like in the upright. So especially with these general readings, I will rely a little bit more on the next few cards that I'll choose, since your situations might be a little bit different. Um, for this, I'm kind of getting a feeling as if you may be running up against some hurdles in a way. Um, Typically, the Three of Wands will be kind of more of a card of expansion and seeing your manifestation starting to materialize. And having it in the reverse, I'm going to get these next few cards so that I can be a little bit more specific here. Okay, so Four of Cups in the reverse. Let's get one more. And the Two of Wands. Okay, so for your advice and your guidance for the coming days, weeks, or months, you got the Four of Cups in the reverse, and this is what it looks like in the upright. And then you got the Two of Wands, and this is in the upright. Okay. So what I'm getting here is that sense of kind of going against the grain that I was kind of feeling earlier. I'm feeling like it's due to not being able to fully focus in one direction. So I'm especially getting that from here. The Two of Wands tends to be more of that wishing and the manifestation stage where you're kind of identifying what it is that you want, but there's kind of this split energy. And with the Four of Cups, that traditionally also has a split energy. It has to do with focus. So I'm getting this feeling of like needing to focus, but I feel like the focus is where your attention is not. And so, for example, in this card, perhaps the focus needs to be forward, but both heads are going to the left and right. And you can also see one arm is holding what looks like a wand or a staff, and the other one is holding something more that it's actually a giant key, but it sort of also gives the feel of the swords. That's just for tarot, the wands, swords, pentacles, and your cups. It kind of gives this feeling of like more of this structured intellectual kind of path versus one that is maybe more just passionate, creative, a little more free flowing. And so I'm getting that it could potentially be that there's kind of this uh lack of focus of like, what direction do I go to? Is there a way to find a middle ground? And with the Four of Cups, in the traditional image, you have somebody sitting by a tree trunk and they're focusing on the three cups that are in front of them, and they don't see that a fourth one is being handed to them. So again, it's about where the person's focus is, and there are other things that are coming from different directions or maybe out of the awareness. Again, here, if the vision is just looking to the right or left, they can't really see behind or in front of them. And I know it's hard to see on here, but at first glance, they kind of look like it's like an octopus type of figure there, but I also feel like they're probably ships. And ships can be that of like opportunity. It can promote almost like business happening if you think of like trading and going across the seas and bringing merchandise, and you kind of have all of these things going around the sides where it feels like there's a lot of opportunity. And so with this person, you can kind of perceive this as, when you're going down, sometimes that's actually an easier direction than going up. But you can also see it as, scaling to bigger heights versus going downwards. And so within all of these cards, I just get this like lack of focus, lack of direction, lack of knowing which way is the right way. And I feel like before I close this out, it's interesting. The first couple of piles that I had done were pretty straightforward, and the advice and the guidance kind of came through. But these last two that I did, the energy feels a little bit more scattered. And so I feel like I need to pull an extra card for you as well. Um, And I guess something to note is that this did come with the rose quartz heart. I feel like this is asking you to listen more to your heart rather than your head, and that will help lead you in the right direction. So I'm just going to quickly get one more advice card. Okay, and this one came out pretty quickly with the Seven of Swords. So I feel like don't be afraid of your shadows. Don't be afraid to move in the direction that is a little bit uncomfortable. There may be a situation where you're actually not just having a lack of focus or lack of direction, but it's actually more of a running away energy, to run away from certain things that may scare you or may have burned you in the past, may have been these huge situations that kind of traumatized you in a way. I feel like with this smoke in the background, this is almost giving me the sense of like, relief is near. There is direction being called to your attention. But it is going to take a little bit of conscious effort and courage to actually move towards that, rather than seeing it as kind of a danger zone. And so, listening to your own intuition, listening to your heart, paying attention to your desires, and letting that lead you, then you'll never be going in the wrong direction as long as you're listening, with your own intuition and your own inner guidance, rather than letting your ego, your fears, and your shadows take over, to lead you. So I feel like deep down inside, you know the way that you're meant to go. It's just a matter of making that decision and then choosing to go towards it rather than away. So I hope I see you again in a private reading. But if not, best of luck to you on your journey. And I'm like, take care.